the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, the oldest, longest running pro wrestling organization, it's up there, it's got to be, presents CCW times the NWA Viva Revolution on Saturday, January 13th at Revolution Live. Of course, it's at Revolution Live, or Revolution, in Fort Lauderdale. What better place for the revolution, and who better to lead that revolution than the utmost, top-notch NWA champion, EC3. Thank you, EC3. Hey, we'll just kick it off right there. What's it like bringing NWA to Fort Lauderdale?
Well, it's fantastic to bring NWA to Fort Lauderdale. I actually flew there last month. I came from Ohio. It was warm. The sun was out. It barely rained. My Uber had ×2 pricing, but that was okay because I love Florida. Florida loves me. I was a resident for about 10 to 12 years in Florida. But in addition to the CCW NWA Revolution, that's actually part of a double bill, because prior to that, NWA is presenting Paranoia, which will be a TV taping for the CW, and it will be featuring myself defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Matt Cardona in what I'm dubbing the ultimate match of death. So, a lot going on.
Hey, that's cool.
Lauderdale to die, apparently.
But this is cool, though, because, all right, so will there be 2 shows in Fort Lauderdale then? Will it be Paranoia, and then there'll be the show with CCW?
Yes. So CCW is a really great promotion. We're really looking forward to working with them. I think what makes the NWA great is our ability to collaborate with, higher-end locals and independents like a CCW. So, in fact, it's kind of a deal the champion orchestrated where I'll be appearing on their show in Kissimmee the day before. That is 112.
Yep.
And in exchange for that, we're going to be, collaborating on this double bill, NWA Paranoia and NWA CCW Revolution. So I think it's really important for the growth of the industry to kind of see what's out there, who's in the high end, the independents, who's next on the scene. I think it's great for us to get, maybe first dibs and first look at some prospective talents that can make noise in the NWA.
Coastal Championship Wrestling has been running a long time as well. They're the oldest running in Florida, and maybe even in North America. They've been around like 20 years or so doing their thing. A lot of great talent there as well. You mentioned the Indies, and it's interesting because they run once a month in Kissimmee. So Friday, January 12th, you'll be in Kissimmee with CCW doing their thing. And then you go to Fort Lauderdale, and you have these great shows that the NWA is going to be doing at Revolution Live. But with the indie wrestling, I'm curious, because how much of a look do you and the NWA actually give to indie promotions then, like a CCW, when you're doing these things?
Part of my mission, it was when I started Control Your Narrative, was kind of to create platforms to find who's next, like talent that have great stories, talent that deserve opportunities. Because knowing my own career trajectory, the hardest thing for me was to get a foot in the door. So, I kind of put it on myself to create these opportunities for people. I've been in that seat. I've been in those boots. I know how that feels. And I think, a decent amount of people just need that look. So personally, I put a lot of time and effort into it. And since I've come to the NWA, they've kind of allowed me to take the charge on that. Actually, the day before Kissimmee, CCW will be hosting an evaluation and a seminar that I'll be involved in to kind of get first looks so I can bring my status report to the boss later on. But I definitely, if they're going to invest their time, these talents, if they're going to invest their time and their efforts, I take it gravely serious to give them the best advice, feedback, and insights I can, and hopefully opportunities if they're warranted.
And this is cool, too, because this is interesting. So Thursday, January 11th, I'm guessing you're going to be in South Florida. Their base is Pompano Beach, so you're going to be giving a seminar, a clinic there at their location?
Yes, I am. And I believe I'm bringing Aron with me, so he's a quirky character, the former Damien Sandow, but he's also he's a good close friend, and personally, I think he's one of the superior creative minds in wrestling. And we've done evaluations and seminars together before, where each and every time we do them, talent leaves better, more accomplished, and more confident. So we take great pride in what we do with that. Like, no joke.
Someone in CCW that has been there, done that, and still doing his thing is Gangrel, WWE alum Gangrel. And I'm curious your thoughts, because CCW, as we mentioned, has some outstanding talent. They're going to be working with the NWA. You're doing the clinics there as well, which is awesome. I'm curious your thoughts of Gangrel, because like yourself, EC3, when you can put a name behind a group, too, it adds more to it, I believe. And what are your thoughts to that, as far as people that want to train, become referees, become wrestlers?
Yeah, as far as any proverbial vampires and bloodsuckers I've ever met in this business, Gangrel is the coolest. There's a lot of bloodsuckers, but
yeah, there's a lot of bloodsuckers in other ways in the business, too.
Yeah, innuendo has been received. But actually, Gangrel, we've actually did a little bit of combat last year up in Virginia, and I had a match with him, and it amazed me that he's been a veteran for so long, how good he is, how polished he is, how, like, credentialed he is. And anytime I get to meet somebody that's trained under Gangrel, whether it's on Independence or, extras on the NWA show, they are vastly superior than a lot of indie people. So it seems like he's a great coach and a great mentor. He's a great opponent, and it's very cool to be working with him again. So
I wonder what it was like for you. We're going to segue to becoming an NWA champion. Are you a history person when it comes to pro wrestling? You've been doing this for a while. You're at the top of your game, of course. You're an NWA champion. Does that resonate to you? Of course, you're proud to be an NWA champion, but even the history that's behind that and that title?
yeah, it didn't really sink in until I had it in my hands, because I was kind of like, I try to remain present in the moments. When you think about things, sometimes you put pressure on yourself, or the things you want to happen don't happen, but whatever happens, happens for a reason, right? So you just have to be present in the moment. And so when I won that, the NWA Championship, yeah, the nostalgia set in, the legacy, the honor of it, what it meant, what it means now, but now the task I have of what I can make it mean again. So being the NWA champion, it is a huge honor, and if I get to put myself in the ranks of names like, Fez and Steamboat and Flair and Dusty, that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Ric Flair was promoting his energy drink up here in Cleveland, Ohio area. So I swung by and brought him the title just to get a quick picture. So, hey, remember this? And it was cool, like, you made this what it is. Now I have this. And we're in a grocery store selling energy drinks. But still, super cool moment and a great honor.
Yeah, it's almost like a fraternity in that regard. And that's so cool, too, that you went there and you have the belt with you as well. And just even further expand a little bit on that. What is it like? You're the NWA champion. Here's someone, you mentioned Lou Thesz, you mentioned Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes. You can go on and on and on. Harley Race, Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk Jr. And then you mentioned Ric Flair, who took it even higher. What was that like, just going there with him and getting that photo moment? That is so cool.
Yeah, I've known Rick for a while. I've ran courses. I've drank wine with him, and I actually saw him the week before. But what was fun about it was he's, doing this bit. Like, he knew I was coming. I sent him a message, but to see the fans are like, wait, what's happening? No, I live there, and then we had that moment. So it was cool, and he's very welcoming. And I'll tell you what, Blue Energy, pretty good. Get yourself one. It's made of mushrooms. It's really nice.
That's good. I'm curious now. I'm curious, EC3, did he challenge you for the belt? Did he challenge you for the title? Was he going to take it from you?
He's been teasing one more, and I don't want to say I prompted it, but I'm saying if it's in your peripherals, I think we can make it happen. But I think he's also happy
Yeah.
No, he's Ric Flair. No, you can't control him.
No, you can't. No one can, and he's earned it. He can do whatever the heck he wants.
Truly does.
Hey, I'll say this: the NWA. It's something that we've seen the NWA go to great heights, and then there was a lull, and then resurrection of the NWA, and it's really taken off. Mentioned like TV tapings are now going to be on CW Network. That's cool because you're hopefully going to get more eyes on it when it comes to that. What has it been like working with the NWA? What has it been like with working with Billy Corgan, who's an entertainer extraordinaire many years, and he loves pro wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, working with, you call him Billy Corgan, I call him WPC, because I'm a professional. But no, working with him, he's a boss, he's a mentor, he's a leader, and he's a friend. And, what's so interesting about working with a guy like him is he's, self-made at the highest levels of an even more cutthroat and competitive industry. He's lived a full life. He's met everybody. He's seen so much. He's done so much. And the fact he's so, I guess you'd say, down-to-earth, approachable, like a normal human being that just likes to get to know people and have conversations and kind of like, he's a Pisces, so he's a little weirdo, creative like me, but like get into people's heads and, be stoic in ways and entertaining in others. I mean, it's really, it's cool, and it's an honor, to be his champion and to be his employee, I guess, but then to kind of be a friend, too.
Hey, what is that like for you, too? Because Billy comes from another entertainment genre and has done so well, and he's been doing NWA for a while, so he knows his stuff. I'm sure he's comfortable with what he's doing now. But is it easier to talk with him or someone like that because you've had so much experience doing it that you could just work off each other, and it's not like Billy saying, no, we got to do it this way and that's it. But you can go up to him and say, Billy, maybe this one, we should do it like this or whatever. Is that how you guys work together? I don't know.
Yeah, I think him being an artist and a creative in so many aspects, he understands a performer's need to be collaborative on their art, so to speak. Mm-hmm. What we do is physical, what we do is sport, but there's an art to it as well. So he respects that, and he is very open to collaboration and creative, whereas opposed to other places I've been, somebody I'd never met before in my life is a quote writer, hands me a white piece of paper with a bunch of words I would never say written on it, telling me to verbatimly say these and act in a certain way that I don't feel. And great performances are things that you feel, that resonate with you, that are extensions of yourself. And it was kind of hard in other atmospheres to be able to do that. But with the NWA, that form is open. Some people do some people do need to kind of be given very specific direction and told what to do. But also I think a lot of us that really try to excel have that intuition that they have to trust and they have to go with. And at the end of the day, the decision is not the talent's. He will still make the call. But you can have that collaboration where at least your voice is heard, whether it's done or not.
Control your narrative.
Truly.
Yeah, right there, right then and there. I mean, that's the thing. When you've been doing this for a while and you can collaborate like that, I'm sure it makes the performer, the pro wrestler, the athlete, the entertainer feel better about what they're doing as well. Is that a good statement?
That's a great statement. I think, sometimes you could be paid a bunch of money, but if you're an artist, it doesn't matter. And it's what you put in and how you feel about what you're putting in. And I think, having that opening to do it in your way is direly important. At least it is to me, If that means there's dollars on the table somewhere else, then so be it. But I'd rather be content and fulfilled and happy than miserable sitting in a room I don't need in this house, so to speak.
It lends itself to the art. What are you there for? Are you there to make money, or are you there to get the most out of what you want to get out of it? I mean, obviously you need the money. Obviously we all need money. We need a job to survive. But sometimes there's more to it than that, and it seems like that's the direction you're going or have been going.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, I'm a world champion now, so that means I'm rich, right? So, but could I be richer? I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is what we're doing now and where we're going, who we are, and what I think we can be. And with this new year, it's a new era, they're kind of calling it. And then to be at the front, to lead that charge, it's a great honor, but it's also, I don't want to say a burden, but there's a lot of pressure to do that. But the pressure is what you want, and the pressure is what you need to excel. Pressure creates diamonds, and diamonds are forever. I think Flair maybe said that.
Oh, I'll say this too. Pressure, hey, who wants the ball? Game's on the line. Who wants the ball? That's what you want to do. If that's what you're in it for, you want the ball. You want to be the one throwing that pass, taking that shot. And you've worked yourself to this. You've been traveled around the world. You've been all different promotions, top end, some indies, just everywhere in between. Ohio-based, I always say this, EC3, there must be something in the water, because how many pro wrestlers are from Ohio?
A decent amount, right? Me too. We did an interview earlier, and the dude was from the Midwest. He was from Ohio, like a different part, and just talking about it. I mean, a lot of us migrate to Florida with great reasons. I mean, it's a hell of a state, and I love it so much. But, there's a uniqueness that comes from that Midwest, upbringing, that work ethic, that kind of self-deprecation in a way. But it's more like self-awareness. And, we let you borrow LeBron for a couple of years, and that worked out for you guys.
Yeah, it did. Hey, we'll wrap this up. I really want to go back to NWA Paranoia. And you mentioned Matt Cardona, who I think I've never met him, so I don't want to speak for him. I don't want you to speak for him. But he, to me...
I will.
Well, okay, good. Because he, to me, seems somebody like you, where we're talking about control your narrative. And somebody that would rather be doing that first than okay, I'm going to throw you a bunch of money, and if we use you, and maybe we'll have you do this or do that. It just seems like you both are with that same type of cloth.
I would agree. I'd 100% agree. We're kind of bizarro each other. I don't know if you're familiar with the Superman lore, but...
Oh, yes, I am. The bizarro world. Oh, yes, indeed.
We have so many intricacies that are similar in drives and ethics, I would say, but then we're so vastly different as well. Mm-hmm. I can talk and sing his praises, what he's done, the indie god, the deathmatch king. He really does create and control his narrative, and he's extremely happy, and he's been extremely successful doing it. So he's kind of like one of the top names in wrestling without any real brand affiliation, and that's very difficult to beat. I mean, I'm going to punish him. I'm going to beat him lifeless. I'm going to destroy him because I don't like him. But damn it, I surely do respect him. He was a part of, actually, when I first did the Control Your Narrative concept. He was the man I chose, and he agreed to it because he's unafraid to do something different. He's unafraid to put himself out there. He's unafraid to be unique. And hopefully he's unafraid to die, because come January 13th, he's in the ultimate match of death with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, EC3.
That is going to be awesome to see at Revolution Live in Fort Lauderdale, Saturday, January 13th. This is going to be a great show. NWA is also collaborating with Coastal Championship Wrestling, top-notch indie group that's been around a long time. They have so much talent there. It's going to be great to see. Hey, you have your own wrestling group that you are the founder of, the owner of, Exodus Pro Wrestling in the Cleveland area, of course. Go Browns. I'll just say that now. I'm Go Dolphins, but I'll say Go Browns for you. Yeah, Go Browns if anybody cares. Exodus, but I got to ask you, I control your narrative and things like that. Is this the concept also why you wanted to do Exodus Pro Wrestling? What's it all about?
Yeah, I would say, Exodus Pro Wrestling is a slightly more traditional look at what I was doing with Control Your Narrative. What it is, it's not for me. It's for the people that are doing it. It's a platform for hopefully people to ply their trade, learn their craft, excel at what they do, and hopefully go somewhere and make something of themselves. So we've had a few shows. They've all been awesome. We are actually now an NWA affiliate, as far as an NWA territorial affiliate, which a company like CCW would be an awesome addition to that family as we're growing it. But with that, we kind of hold that name, and that gives us a lot of, I don't know, it's good marketing. It's carte blanche to throw those three letters around. But it excites me of what we can do there. And this Exodus is not about me. It's about the people I brought to work with it, in it. Shout out to Noah, who hooked up this interview. He was a college student and now my creative assistant with Exodus Pro Wrestling. Shout out to the Space Cowboy from coming from Florida to go to Cleveland to be a part of it and be on the business end, as also being within the ring. I mean, I really just like the idea of creating something that people can utilize to find their best self.
Champ, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there anyone at Exodus Pro right now we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I got one for you. He's actually going to be featured with CCW, so Dante Casanova is very high on my list. And I can see him making a tremendous impact within this business. Hopefully, it's with, it's going to be with Exodus, but then the money's going to come calling, and then hopefully it's with the NWA as well, because I think he's got a very bright future.
Well, this has been awesome. I appreciate your time, champ. We're going to wrap this up. I know Thursday, January 11th, in South Florida, Pompano Beach, I believe. It'll be a CCW training center. You're going to do a seminar there. That's going to be great. Damian Sandow as well with you. I mean, how could you beat that? Oh, my gosh. That's awesome in itself. He's tremendous. He's one of my all-time favorites. I love all the stuff he's done. And then you have Friday, January 12th, in Kissimmee with CCW. The champ is EC3, NWA champ's going to be there. And then obviously Revolution Live, that's the big one. Saturday, January 13th in Fort Lauderdale. So much going on that night. You want to be there. TV tapings for CW Network. Hey, I'll wrap it up with this. Champ, NWA champ EC3. Who do you like watching on the wrestling circuit? I know you mentioned Matt Cardona. You respect him, and that one you're going to pulverize. But who do you like watching these days?
Well, before I get into that loaded question, let's not forget, too, that January 14th, we're doing a TV taping up in Tampa.
Tampa, yes.
Shout out to the Bay.
Yeah. That's exactly right. You got that, too. NWA in Tampa.
I don't watch a ton of modern wrestling because I feel it might inflect how I create what I'm doing and what I'm doing for other people. But if something, is exceptional or stands out, I'm going to check it out because I always appreciate the craft. I mean, how odd is WWE right now? CM Punk coming back. The Rock shows up. I mean, they're gearing up for a huge WrestleMania. They did record numbers on a lot of aspects. So, they're the leader of the business, and they always will be. So if they're thriving, that means the business can thrive. So, who do I want to name drop?
What about Kerry Morton?
Everybody but Kerry Morton.
Yes! That's how you end it. That's the perfect way to end it right there. Champ, thank you so much. We'll see you in Fort Lauderdale and all points around.